The hidden food combo that wrecks digestion and muscles after 60. After 60, many people believe weak muscles, constant bloating, and slow digestion are simply part of aging. But doctors explain that it's not always age. Sometimes it's what we eat together. A hidden food combination, often seen in daily meals, quietly blocks nutrient absorption, strains digestion, and drains energy. Over time, it can weaken muscles, rob the body of strength, and make stomach discomfort a daily struggle. The surprising truth is that avoiding just a few harmful pairings can restore energy, protect digestion, and keep muscles strong well into later years. If protecting your digestion and keeping your muscles strong after 60 matters to you, subscribe now for more trusted health guidance. Share this video with loved ones so they can avoid these hidden mistakes too. Small changes in what we combine on our plates can protect health for years ahead. Tea or coffee with iron-rich meals. For many seniors, the day feels incomplete without a cup of tea or coffee alongside a meal. It is a comforting habit, one that brings relaxation, warmth, and a sense of routine. But doctors warn that this combination can be quietly harmful when paired with iron-rich foods. The tannins in tea and the caffeine in coffee reduce the body's ability to absorb iron. After 60, when muscle strength, energy, and resilience depend heavily on adequate iron levels, this pairing becomes especially problematic. What seems harmless, sipping tea with dinner or enjoying coffee after lunch, can, over time, contribute to weakness, fatigue, and even anemia. Iron is one of the most important minerals for seniors. It is essential for producing hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout the body. Without enough iron, blood cannot deliver sufficient oxygen to muscles, tissues, and the brain. This results in chronic fatigue, muscle weakness, and slower recovery after activity. Doctors explain that iron deficiency is not only about feeling tired, it is also about depriving muscles of the oxygen they need to function. Seniors with low iron often struggle to climb stairs, walk long distances, or carry groceries without exhaustion. The problem arises because tea and coffee contain tannins, polyphenols, and caffeine that bind to iron in food, particularly non-heme iron, the type found in plant sources such as beans, lentils, spinach, and whole grains. When tannins bind to iron, they form complexes that the body cannot absorb. Coffee adds another barrier with its caffeine content, which further reduces absorption. This means that even if a senior eats a meal rich in iron, such as a spinach salad or beans with rice, drinking tea or coffee at the same time prevents much of that iron from being absorbed. For people over 60, this is a hidden danger. Aging naturally reduces stomach acid production, which already makes iron absorption more difficult. Combining this with tea or coffee at meals compounds the problem, leaving seniors vulnerable to deficiency. Doctors note that many older adults who experience fatigue or muscle weakness are not simply slowing down with age, but are living with undiagnosed low iron made worse by this food and drink pairing. The signs of iron deficiency are subtle but significant. Seniors may notice pale skin, brittle nails, cold hands and feet, or dizziness when standing up. They may also feel their heartbeat racing after mild exertion, as the heart works harder to pump oxygen through the body. In the muscles, low iron leads to cramps, weakness, and a sense of heaviness in the legs. For the brain, reduced oxygen results in slower focus, poor concentration, and forgetfulness. Doctors emphasize that these symptoms often appear gradually, which makes it easy to blame them on aging instead of nutrition. Scientific studies confirm this link. Research has shown that tea can reduce iron absorption from meals by as much as 60 to 70%, while coffee reduces it by around 40%. For seniors relying on plant-based diets or those with already low iron intake, this reduction can be critical. Over months and years, the impact adds up, leaving the body with depleted iron stores and reduced resilience. It is important to note that this problem affects non-heme iron more strongly than heme iron, which comes from animal sources like red meat, poultry, and fish. Still, even heme iron absorption is reduced to some degree. Since many seniors choose lighter meals with more vegetables and less meat for health reasons, the risk of deficiency increases when tea or coffee is paired with those meals. Doctors do not suggest eliminating tea or coffee entirely. Both drinks have health benefits, including antioxidants that protect against heart disease and some cancers. Instead, the advice is to separate them from iron-rich meals. Drinking tea or coffee at least 1 to 2 hours before or after meals allows the body to absorb more iron from food. Seniors can still enjoy their favorite beverages, but by adjusting timing, they avoid the harmful combination. Practical examples help make this clear. Imagine a senior eating a lunch of lentil soup with whole grain bread. If this meal is followed immediately by a cup of tea, much of the iron in the lentils is blocked from absorption. But if that same tea is enjoyed mid-afternoon, the body has already absorbed the iron, and the tea no longer interferes. Similarly, a breakfast of oatmeal with nuts and raisins, a good source of iron, should not be paired with coffee. Instead, coffee can be enjoyed later in the morning, after the iron has been digested and absorbed. For those who want a warm drink with meals, doctors recommend switching to alternatives that do not block iron. Herbal teas without tannins, such as chamomile or peppermint, are safe choices. Warm lemon water is another option, which not only avoids interfering with iron but also improves absorption because vitamin C enhances the body's ability to take in non-heme iron. This is why adding a slice of orange or a few strawberries to an iron-rich meal is beneficial. Vitamin C and iron work together, while tea and coffee work against absorption. The consequences of ignoring this issue can be severe. Seniors with chronic low iron often develop anemia, a condition marked by profound weakness, fragile immunity, and slower wound healing. Anemia increases the risk of falls, infections, and hospitalization. Doctors stress that preventing it is far easier than treating it. Simply adjusting when tea or coffee is consumed can protect iron levels, preserving energy and muscle strength. Cultural habits often reinforce this problem without awareness. In many households, tea is a staple drink with meals, and coffee is a ritual after breakfast or lunch. Changing these routines may feel unnatural at first, but seniors who make the shift often report noticeable improvements. Within weeks, they may feel less fatigued, their legs stronger, and their concentration sharper. These are signs that the body is finally receiving the iron it needs to perform well. In conclusion, tea and coffee are not harmful by themselves. The harm lies in combining them with iron-rich meals, especially after 60, when nutrient absorption is already less efficient. The tannins and caffeine in these drinks block the body's ability to absorb iron, leading to weakness, fatigue, and reduced muscle function. By simply separating these beverages from meals, seniors can enjoy their comforting drinks without sacrificing nutrition. Doctors call this one of the simplest and most effective dietary adjustments for older adults. Protecting iron intake is protecting strength, energy, and independence, and avoiding this hidden food combo is a crucial step. Dairy with iron-rich foods, milk, yogurt, and cheese are often considered the cornerstones of a healthy diet, especially for seniors. They are rich in calcium and protein, two nutrients essential for bone strength and muscle maintenance. Yet when these foods are combined with iron-rich meals, a hidden problem arises. Doctors caution that calcium, the very mineral that makes dairy so valuable, also competes directly with iron for absorption. For people over 60, this competition can mean losing out on both nutrients at the same time, leaving bones weaker and muscles more fatigued. To understand why this happens, it helps to look at how the body absorbs nutrients. Both calcium and iron use similar pathways in the small intestine. When calcium is present in large amounts, it takes priority, reducing the amount of iron that gets absorbed. This effect is not limited to plant-based iron but applies to both heme iron, from animal sources like red meat, and non-heme iron, from plants like beans and spinach. Doctors explain that while occasional overlap may not cause serious harm, the habit of drinking milk with dinner or adding cheese to iron-rich meals can, over time, result in deficiencies that weaken both digestion and muscles. Iron is critical for carrying oxygen in the blood, while calcium is vital for building and maintaining strong bones. After 60, the body already struggles to absorb both minerals efficiently due to reduced stomach acid and slower digestive function. When dairy and iron-rich foods are eaten together, the result is poor absorption of both. Instead of doubling nutritional support, the combination cancels out much of the benefit. Seniors are left with weaker bones and less iron to fuel muscle strength. The consequences of this can be seen in daily life. Seniors who unknowingly combine dairy with iron-rich foods often report constant fatigue, even after adequate rest. Their muscles tire more easily, and recovery after activity is slower. Weak knees, aching legs, and reduced stamina are common. At the same time, bone density may decline faster, increasing the risk of fractures. Doctors emphasize that this is not simply aging, but the result of poor nutrient absorption caused by food combinations. Scientific studies confirm this interaction. Research has shown that calcium can reduce iron absorption by 40 to 60% when consumed at the same meal. This effect is significant for seniors, many of whom already consume less iron than younger adults. Women after menopause and men over 60 are especially vulnerable, since they no longer benefit from the same hormone-related protection that helps maintain bone and blood health earlier in life. Practical examples illustrate the problem. Consider a dinner of lean beef or spinach curry, both rich in iron. If this meal is followed with a glass of milk or paired with yogurt, much of the iron is lost during digestion. Likewise, eating beans or lentils with cheese on top, a common practice in many cuisines, results in reduced iron absorption. Seniors who rely on such meals for strength may not receive the nutrients their bodies need. The solution is not to eliminate dairy. Calcium remains vital for seniors, especially for preventing osteoporosis. Doctors recommend simply separating calcium-rich foods from iron-rich meals. For example, milk or yogurt can be consumed as a snack between meals or at breakfast when iron intake is lower. Iron-rich foods like beans, greens, and meat should be eaten at lunch or dinner without dairy alongside them. By spacing the intake of these nutrients by at least 2 hours, the body is better able to absorb both. For those who enjoy dairy at mealtimes, alternatives can help. Plant-based milk options such as almond or oat milk often contain added calcium but lack the same inhibitory effect on iron. Herbal teas, water with lemon, or simple vegetable broths can also replace dairy beverages at iron-rich meals without blocking absorption. Doctors emphasize that hydration and variety matter, but timing is key. Another useful strategy is pairing iron-rich foods with vitamin C-rich foods. Vitamin C greatly enhances iron absorption, even when calcium is present. Adding citrus fruits, bell peppers, tomatoes, or strawberries to iron-heavy meals can help offset some of the blocking effect of dairy. For example, eating a spinach salad with lemon dressing or including tomato slices with a lentil dish boosts iron uptake. Seniors can still enjoy dairy at other times while protecting their iron levels at critical meals. The risks of ignoring this interaction become more serious with age. Iron deficiency increases the risk of anemia, which leads to weakness, pale skin, dizziness, and a greater likelihood of falls. Calcium deficiency contributes to brittle bones and fractures. When both deficiencies occur together, seniors face a double burden: weaker muscles and weaker bones. Doctors stress that preventing this outcome is far easier than treating it later. Adjusting food timing is a simple but powerful step toward preserving both strength and independence. Culturally, many traditions combine dairy with iron-rich foods without awareness of the impact. In Japan, for instance, dairy consumption has increased in recent decades, often alongside fish or vegetable meals rich in iron. In Western diets, cheese-topped vegetables or yogurt-based sauces are common. While these meals may taste satisfying, they can quietly rob seniors of the nutrients they most need. Awareness allows seniors to enjoy the foods they love while making small adjustments that protect health. In daily practice, seniors who separate dairy and iron notice meaningful improvements. Energy feels steadier, fatigue lessens, and muscle performance improves. Knees feel stronger, and digestion lighter. Doctors explain that these benefits reflect the body's improved ability to use nutrients effectively. Over months, bone density tests often show slower loss, and blood tests reveal healthier iron levels. These small changes reinforce that timing matters as much as the foods themselves. In conclusion, dairy and iron-rich foods are both essential, but not together. Calcium and iron compete for absorption, and after 60, when every nutrient counts, this competition can harm both bones and muscles. By separating dairy from iron-rich meals, seniors can enjoy the benefits of both nutrients without losing either. Doctors call this adjustment one of the simplest dietary strategies to protect digestion, strength, and independence. For seniors seeking to stay active and resilient, understanding this hidden food combination may be the key to stronger bones, healthier muscles, and renewed energy. High-protein meals with sugary desserts after 60, protein becomes one of the most important nutrients for maintaining muscle mass and preventing weakness. Doctors often encourage seniors to include protein-rich foods like fish, chicken, beans, or eggs in their meals. But there is a hidden mistake that can undo much of the benefit: following a high-protein meal with a sugary dessert. While this habit may feel comforting, the combination can quietly damage digestion, block proper protein use, and leave the body fatigued instead of nourished. The issue lies in how protein and sugar are digested. Protein requires strong stomach acid and enzymes to break down into amino acids, the building blocks that repair and maintain muscles. Sugar, on the other hand, digests very quickly, often within minutes. When sugar enters the stomach immediately after a protein-heavy meal, it interferes with this slower process. The stomach prioritizes breaking down the sugar first, leaving the protein sitting longer in the digestive tract. This delay often leads to bloating, heaviness, and discomfort. For seniors with naturally slower digestion, the problem becomes even worse. Beyond discomfort, this combination can create deeper problems. When protein lingers in the stomach and intestines, it is not broken down as efficiently. the body misses out on the full amino acid content, meaning muscles receive less of the fuel they need to stay strong. Doctors explain that this reduces the effectiveness of protein intake. Seniors may eat the right foods, but if paired with sugar, they absorb fewer benefits. Over time, this can accelerate muscle loss, making legs weaker, balance less stable, and fatigue more pronounced. Sugary desserts also create spikes in blood sugar, which can be dangerous after 60. High blood sugar stresses the pancreas, the organ responsible for releasing insulin. Insulin helps move sugar from the blood into the cells for energy. But when sugar is consumed in large amounts, especially after a protein-rich meal, it causes sharp fluctuations. This not only drains energy but also increases the risk of insulin resistance, a condition that often leads to type 2 diabetes. Doctors caution that the combination of protein and sugar puts double stress on digestion and metabolism, creating conditions that weaken both muscles and overall vitality. Another hidden issue is fermentation. When sugar remains in the stomach alongside slow-digesting protein, it can ferment, producing gas and bloating. Seniors often notice discomfort, belching, or indigestion after such meals. This is not simply a sign of aging digestion, but a direct result of the combination itself. Over time, repeated fermentation can upset the balance of gut bacteria, further impairing digestion and nutrient absorption. Doctors highlight that a disrupted gut microbiome is linked not only to stomach issues but also to inflammation and reduced immunity. The effect on energy is significant. Seniors who eat high-protein meals followed by sugary desserts often feel a temporary burst of energy, followed by a crash. This roller coaster effect leaves the body tired, shaky, and mentally foggy. Protein is supposed to provide steady energy, but sugar disrupts the process, leaving muscles undernourished and the brain drained. Doctors encourage seniors to think of protein as fuel that builds strength, while sugar acts more like a spark that burns out quickly. Together, they create imbalance instead of stability. Practical examples make this clearer. Imagine a dinner of grilled chicken or fish, both excellent protein sources. If followed by a slice of cake, ice cream, or even sweetened fruit desserts, the sugar delays protein digestion and blunts its benefits. Similarly, eggs at breakfast paired with sugary pastries or sweetened coffee create the same conflict. Seniors may believe they are eating healthy protein, but the sugar pairing quietly reduces its impact. The solution is not to avoid desserts entirely but to adjust timing and choices. Doctors recommend waiting at least 1 to 2 hours after a protein-rich meal before enjoying something sweet. This gives the body time to break down the protein first, allowing amino acids to be absorbed efficiently. Another approach is replacing heavy sugary desserts with naturally sweet foods that are gentler on digestion, such as fresh berries, baked apples, or a small piece of dark chocolate. These provide satisfaction without overwhelming the digestive system. Pairing protein with fiber-rich vegetables or whole grains is another strategy. These combinations digest more harmoniously, supporting stable blood sugar and steady energy. For seniors who enjoy sweets, having them separately as an afternoon snack rather than immediately after lunch or dinner helps the body process both protein and sugar without conflict. Doctors emphasize that balance and timing are the keys, not strict deprivation. The long-term risks of ignoring this combination are serious. Repeated interference with protein absorption accelerates muscle loss, leading to sarcopenia, a condition marked by frailty, weak legs, and higher fall risk. Constant blood sugar spikes increase the likelihood of diabetes and heart disease. Persistent digestive strain worsens gut health and weakens immunity. What begins as a small comfort, a sweet treat after a meal, can slowly erode strength and vitality over the years. In conclusion, protein is essential after 60, but pairing it with sugary desserts undermines its benefits. The body struggles to digest both efficiently, leading to bloating, missed nutrients, blood sugar spikes, and fatigue. By adjusting timing and making smarter choices, seniors can enjoy protein for muscle strength and sweets for pleasure without letting one cancel out the other. Doctors call this awareness a cornerstone of healthy aging: protect digestion, nourish muscles, and enjoy treats in ways that support, not weaken, the body. Fruit with heavy meals. Fruit is often thought of as one of the healthiest foods. Doctors recommend it daily because it provides vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants that protect nearly every organ. For seniors, fruits are especially valuable because they support digestion, reduce inflammation, and add hydration. But while fruit itself is healthy, the timing of when it is eaten can turn it into a digestive burden rather than a blessing. Doctors warn that combining fruit with heavy meals, especially those rich in protein, fat, or starch, can quietly wreck digestion and weaken nutrient absorption, leaving seniors with bloating, discomfort, and reduced energy. The reason lies in how quickly fruit digests. Most fruits are broken down and absorbed within 30 to 60 minutes. They move rapidly through the stomach and into the small intestine, where their natural sugars and vitamins are absorbed efficiently. Heavy meals, on the other hand, digest slowly. Protein, fat, and starchy carbohydrates may take 3 to 5 hours to fully leave the stomach. When fruit is eaten with or immediately after such meals, it becomes trapped behind slower digesting foods. Instead of moving through smoothly, fruit begins to ferment in the stomach, producing gas, bloating, and acidity. For seniors, whose digestive systems are naturally slower due to reduced enzyme activity and weaker stomach acid, this fermentation is even more pronounced. It often shows up as heaviness in the stomach, uncomfortable fullness after eating, or belching and indigestion. Many seniors mistakenly believe these are unavoidable signs of aging. In reality, they may simply be the result of pairing fruit with heavy meals. Another consequence is poor nutrient absorption. When fruit ferments, its vitamins and antioxidants are degraded before the body can use them. This means the very nutrients seniors eat fruit for, vitamin C, potassium, antioxidants, are partially lost. At the same time, the fermentation process interferes with the digestion of the heavier foods in the meal, leaving proteins and fats only partially broken down. Over time, this can contribute to nutrient deficiencies that weaken muscles, bones, and immunity. Doctors emphasize that fruit is most beneficial when eaten on its own or before meals, not when buried under a heavy plate of food. Blood sugar balance is also affected. Fruit sugars, when eaten alone or in small balanced meals, are absorbed gradually thanks to their fiber content. But when combined with heavy, fatty foods, sugar absorption becomes irregular. This can cause unpredictable spikes and crashes in blood sugar, leaving seniors feeling fatigued, shaky, or mentally foggy. For those managing diabetes or prediabetes, this combination is particularly harmful, as it destabilizes glucose control and puts unnecessary strain on the pancreas. Practical examples help explain this clearly. A senior might enjoy fruit salad immediately after a large dinner of meat, potatoes, and gravy. The fruit, instead of being digested quickly, lingers in the stomach, causing bloating and heaviness later in the evening. Similarly, Adding banana slices to a heavy bowl of ice cream or eating an apple right after a fried meal may feel refreshing at the moment, but within an hour, the digestive discomfort begins. These experiences are not caused by the fruit itself, but by the way it interacts with slow-digesting foods. The solution is simple: eat fruit at the right time. Doctors recommend consuming fruit on an empty stomach, such as first thing in the morning or as a light snack between meals. This allows fruit to move smoothly through the digestive system, delivering its nutrients without interference. Another option is to eat fruit 30 minutes before a heavy meal. In this case, the fruit digests quickly and clears the stomach before protein and fat arrive, avoiding fermentation. By adjusting timing, seniors can enjoy the full benefits of fruit without digestive distress. There are exceptions. Some fruits, like apples or pears, have higher fiber and digest more slowly. These can sometimes be tolerated alongside light meals. However, tropical fruits like pineapple, mango, and watermelon digest very quickly and should not be paired with heavy foods. Doctors emphasize that while individual tolerance varies, the safest and most beneficial approach for seniors is to enjoy fruit separately. The improvements from this simple change can be felt quickly. Seniors who shift fruit to between meals often notice lighter digestion, less bloating, and more consistent energy. Over time, nutrient absorption improves, leading to stronger immunity, better muscle recovery, and healthier skin. These small but meaningful changes add up to greater comfort and vitality in daily life. In conclusion, fruit is one of the healthiest foods for seniors, but combining it with heavy meals creates hidden problems. It ferments in the stomach, disrupts digestion, reduces nutrient absorption, and destabilizes blood sugar. After 60, when digestion naturally slows, this effect is even stronger. Doctors recommend eating fruit on its own, before meals, or as a light snack to maximize its benefits. By avoiding this hidden food combination, seniors can enjoy all the strengths of fruit without the discomfort, protecting digestion, muscles, and overall energy well into later years.